And we are live for another episode of the Grow Clinton podcast. 193. We're going to knock out 194 later today. I do think we will surpass 200 by the turn of the year.
Do ya?
Yeah, I think so. Well, it's up to you. You got to schedule them.
I got them in there.
You're in charge.
That's what I've
All
been
right,
doing.
here comes the intro. You're listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Grow Clinton is a 501c6 nonprofit economic community development and tourism organization based in Clinton, Iowa. For more information, visit growclinton.com. Again, that's growclinton.com. Now, back to the show. What's happening, all you amazing people, listeners of the Grow Clinton podcast? We want to thank you for your continued support. As always, my name's Andy Sokolovich. I am the host for today's show, joined in the studio by Jenny home from her office. Jenny, what's happening?
We got Brock Purdy in the house.
Brock Purdy. New addition to our Funko Pop collection and bobbleheads, whatever you want to call them, our toys up front. I always like to feature some folks that either I am huge fans of, like Jalen Hurts, Ted Lasso, but we also have Brock Purdy right next to his boy, Cooper DeJean, which my Birds lost last night to the Chargers. Not looking good. Rough year. This reminds me of 2023. Very garbage year of football for the Philadelphia Eagles, but it is what it is. I will lick my wounds.
They're hitting reset.
Yeah, it's sloppy outside, Jenny.
Oh, just for historical purposes, let's say that it's not even in the double digits in December, and we are already under snow, and it's a mess.
Yeah, I'm over it. I'm not a complainer of the weather. I just don't like when it gets sloppy.
Yeah, messy everywhere.
And we got some colder temps coming this weekend. We got some gale force winds forecasted for tomorrow night, like 50 miles per hour.
That's insane.
That combined with just the cold, it's bitter out there. It's bitter.
Take care of yourself.
'Tis the Midwest.
Yep.
You suck it up, you deal with it. Doesn't last forever. And then we have beautiful spring. So.
Yes.
Jenny, we got sponsors.
I love these guys.
That's right. Mic check courtesy of Citizens First Bank, making your finances and our audio here crystal clear. New mics for the Grow Clinton podcast are proudly sponsored by the bank that's always in tune with our community. Find them at gocfb.bank. Banking as it should be with Citizens First Bank, member FDIC. AdCraft has been in the custom apparel business since 1974. Over the years, they've grown from a small family-run business serving the Clinton, Iowa community to a cutting-edge operation providing top-notch customized printwear to teams and companies across the United States. For all of your custom printwear needs, AdCraftUSA.com. I saw our good buddy Josh Mooseman of JT Concrete Contractors just launched a web store.
Did he?
So if you're interested, Moose has some great drawings out there, like old school, like early 90s kind of throwback designs for his company. Yeah, really cool. Hoodies, all sorts of cool things.
I love it.
Miles Communications, OG sponsor. That's right. They power the Grow Clinton podcast, hooking us up with wicked fast, high-speed internet to ensure that our broadcast is crisp, clear, and consistent. Miles also offers residential and commercial high-speed internet services, as well as television and telephone options to meet your home or company's communication demands. If they're not in your neck of the woods, they're on their way. MilesTelephone.com. LyondellBasell, a leader in global chemical industry, guided by the purpose of creating solutions for everyday sustainable living. LYB is one of the world's largest producers of polymers and a leader in the polyolefin technologies. LyondellBasell Clinton Complex produces resins used to create a variety of plastic products, including household and industrial bottles, pressure pipes, food packaging, PEX tubing, outdoor durable goods, construction and roofing materials, and the list goes on. LYB is committed to being a responsible, engaged neighbor in the community where it operates. Through volunteerism, charitable giving, and partnerships with local organizations, LyondellBasell aims to strengthen communities by supporting education, sustainability, and safety initiatives. LyondellBasell, solutions for a better tomorrow. Good show today, Jenny.
Something we've been talking about a lot lately.
All year.
You're right.
This is the final month.
Hard to believe.
We kicked it off in January 1, 2025, or January in 2025, supporting Dr. Charlie Minnick and his vision to leverage his years of experience in the leadership sphere and help educate our members here at Grow Clinton on what it takes to be an effective and engaged leader. Coming up, our next, session is next Wednesday. What is that? The 17th? Something like that. Let me just guess.
Hold on now.
Why am I
it's
looking?
the 17th.
yeah, what am I doing here? And then we're going to have a session focused on AI powered leadership, how we're leveraging these technologies to ensure leaders of today and in the future take advantage of new technology to enhance their capabilities and really their passion for leadership in general. So, ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Charlie Minnick joins us again. Charlie, what's up, sir?
Hey, cold. Tired of blowing snow.
Cold snow.
Stuff, shear pins, all that kind of stuff that goes with blowing snow.
Inflatable Christmas stuff.
If we're going to get 50 mile an hour straight line wind, it's not gusts, people better hunker down and make sure they double tie a knot on their inflatable decorations.
Leave them down. That's the best.
So, Charlie, we're talking about AI, artificial intelligence in leadership. What does it mean?
Well, it's everywhere. So you think about AI, it's just everywhere. I mean, even anymore, you look at ads and stuff. Was this real? Is it?
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, you don't even know. True. You don't even know what the heck's going on. So I think if it's about technological revolution, but it's also a leadership revolution. I think because how do we integrate this type of thing? I think it accelerates how we make decisions, amplifies consequences, perhaps,
absolutely,
even along the way, and really raises leadership stakes higher than ever because there's so many now. We have this other variable that we have to try to manage, lead, influence, control, all that kind of stuff, which makes it harder.
Do you think there's ever going to be the ability? I mean, it's so unknown to us. The conversations we're having now are probably the same as when the internet came out. But I mean, is there any way? Do you think there's going to be any way to really control?
Well, I think we have to manage it. How do we try to manage? It's going to be hard. Kind of like the grapevine, you can't really control it. That informal. But how do we manage it?
Yeah.
And I think we have to. How do we move quicker but still maintain trust?
Yeah.
How do we do that?
Well, the old adage, like fake it till you make it, is kind of a cruel reality right now.
It is.
I mean, with the leverage of AI, you can really position yourself as a subject matter expert, not do any of the work. So as a hiring authority and as somebody who focuses a lot on professional and personal development, you have to be aware of the telltale signs that somebody's leveraging AI as a tool, but they're not doing it ethically.
So what are some of the telltale signs?
I mean, I think sometimes you can look at, like, probably in the academic world, part of it, originally was, well, are students really writing their papers or are they plug it? I mean, there's ways to tell in a way, but sometimes people will create references, but that references don't really exist. And there's ways you can tell. Yeah. There's ways you can tell. And where I work, we're now making a dedicated sort of diligent effort. How do we use AI? We're not just jumping off the deep end and hoping something works. They're trying to be very deliberate and thoughtful about, okay, this is what it is. This is how do we best use this tool? Because it's not going to go away. It's kind of like the internet. It's not going to go away.
Yeah.
But how do we manage it and use it effectively to help make decisions and help move it forward? It is a little scary.
When I was in school and went back to college in my 40s, and you had to write a paper, they put it through a program. And I think the rule was for plagiarism, if you string together 5 words, that's considered plagiarism. But now you could put something in there and just use different words.
But you don't know where. I mean, you can actually ask ChatGPT to create citations for you.
Yes.
Which is a great tool. As somebody who adopts AI and loves it and leverages it every single day, I am not poo-pooing the use of AI.
No.
However, I will say as hiring authorities, you need to be very diligent because if somebody's just drafting a cover letter and it sounds very well written and it's almost too good to be true, do some look around. Like the M dashes are a telltale sign, a giveaway for ChatGPT.
Explain that.
Now, your M dash is your elongated horizontal line that's between 2 words.
Right.
And ChatGPT loves to use them. They love using adverbs like aggressively over and over and over again. And one of the experiences I've had was sitting down with somebody who presented a plan of work and was reading through the plan line by line and could not pronounce some of the words. And that is a key indicator that maybe you did not write this.
Yikes.
So you just got to be You got to be out there. You got to be aware of what's being presented. But yeah, it is scary because I go on there sometimes and I will just do a general prompt for something we're working on here at Grow Clinton. And I am amazed. I'm amazed by the level of content and accuracy that it presents me. And then I have to do a little massaging to make it our own. I have no problem with that. I'm capable of doing the work if I had to.
Right.
But it's an amazing tool, an amazing time saver.
True.
Yes, I think how do you innovate without leaving parts of the community behind, the organization behind? How do you do that kind of stuff?
Because that's going to happen.
Yeah. How to use data itself responsibly when the data itself can, like where does this come from, the accuracy of stuff, and how do you remain humanity when the pace of change with this feels a bit inhuman? How do we keep that? And I think that's what we have to remember. And you talk about, I'm a firm believer in people interview paper, but hire people.
Yep.
So you can create this great, right? It might get you an interview, but that's why I think interviewing skills will become more and more critical. It's that human piece where people are sitting eyeball to eyeball and you find out what makes people tick and all those type of things.
It seems like AI might be, maybe, I don't know, to me, might be forcing us to go back in time a little bit where you have to do everything in person and you have to be eye to eye and not so much, on paper. And
I think it's just strengthening the realization that there's a lack of human engagement in the workplace right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And that's always my concern. And somehow with technology is good, I think, but part of that worries me a little is we're going to lose those sort of human skills, those human connections. Now people we'd go see people and, work in an office and stuff like that. Now we used to go see them. Now we text them or something like that when they're 3 doors down.
Right.
So I think that's my concern a little bit is we have to make sure we don't lose that human connection and human piece, which I think is still critical in organizations. I mean, it can help us be more effective, efficient, all that kind of stuff.
Now, Charlie, we're going to have a guest speaker next Wednesday. What's the name of this individual?
Andy Shean.
Now, Andy Shean, how is he a subject matter expert regarding AI and leadership?
So he's done tons of research with AI, and that's really his passion. He has great ways. He'll talk a lot about not only use it, but how to use it ethically. What's the challenges of using AI? That it's not the be all end all sort of thing. How does it make us more? And he's presented that. I've known Andy probably almost 20 years, I think.
He's got to be a good guy.
He is a good guy. And he's
a flag right there.
And he's
good
got
flag.
great firsthand experience, and so and again, a lot of research, and that's really what his thing is how do we use technology in general? It's kind of honed in on AI a little bit, but how do we use technology in general in our day-to-day work and world and lives to try to, make us better, but still not forget the human piece of the thing.
Well, I don't know how your brain works, but my brain tends to be, for lack of better terminology, firing on all cylinders all the time, almost to a detriment, where I have a very difficult time concentrating on a single task.
Yeah.
So the way I leverage AI is I will open up whatever open source I want to use. Let's just say ChatGPT, and I will present the problem at hand that I'm working to develop a solution for. And really what it does is it's that needle in a haystack. It's finding that needle for me in 10 minutes as opposed to 10 hours. And it's giving me ideas. And we've been doing this forever, whether it's brainstorming in a collaborative environment, somebody shares an idea and you build off of that. It's not your idea necessarily, or we open up a book or we use the internet for a Google search. I mean, it's just a way to kind of get the process going.
Yeah. I worry about how it's going to affect some of the jobs that are going to go away because of it. Don't they say, so. You're not going to need a doctor. You're not going to need a teacher. You're not, I mean, that scares me.
Some of those things that's why I was so bent out of shape when nursing was no longer considered a professional career. Because you're always going to need medical providers. Technology is not going to steal that. Air traffic control too. When I was involved in that, there was always discussion if technology is going to take that over. And there is such an aggressive and apparent human relationship that a controller has with a pilot
Mhm.
that cannot be copied by a machine.
No.
And especially when you hear the trembling in somebody's voice, they're flying, they're only visually qualified. Now they're going to find themselves in an environment where their instruments are all they have, unexpected weather. I mean, that is a human relationship you're building with somebody to get them to a safe point where they can live to see another day. And I don't see a machine copying that.
Yeah. How do we, and then think it's about what we can't get away from. We're talking about is this human-centered leadership piece. That's still a little bit my concern, but I think AI can augment human capabilities, but it can't replace it.
Mm-hmm.
It can,
use it for a tool, like Andy said. Just
we have that intuition, that sixth sense. I mean, that gut feeling that tells you when something's wrong. You don't ignore it. I mean, that's important, right?
Right.
And I just don't see technology developing that.
And maybe if AI can help us with some of it, maybe it allows leaders to be more focused on empathy, creativity, mentoring, critical thinking sort of skills.
You're right, because a lot of the skills that you might use AI for, like Andy said, from 10 hours to 10 minutes, you do have more time to focus on, the people than actually like the tasks around you that take up time.
Yeah. Some of the monotonous tasks that you have,
right?
Like, say you write a report and you just want to format it in a certain way,
right?
Easier for presentation, create an infographic, PowerPoint presentation. AI just destroys that in the amount of time frame that you have. 10 minutes and knocks out something that would take you a very, very long time. So that's why I leverage it. But the ultimate idea, the seed that was planted to get to that destination is yours. It's your original idea, but you're leveraging AI as a tool to make it easier to communicate.
Right.
Let's hope we can maybe help with some of those administrative sort of things that take up so much of our day, and people can focus on meaningful work, connections, development, all those type of things that AI really can't do. That's not what it's supposed to do.
We've come so far from those administrative tasks. I mean, I wonder what Karen could say, our office administrator, about how she had to do her job to begin with as opposed to now.
Let's just think about our basic calendar that we keep.
Yeah.
I mean, you and Karen, I have no problems with it. You guys keep a physical calendar and that's how you schedule things. But we often run into this past Monday where we run into a hiccup where the physical calendar does not match the digital calendar.
Yes.
And because something was removed from the physical calendar, there was an afterthought to remove from the digital calendar.
Yep.
And now you have things on the calendars that are no longer real or happening.
That's why I have an erasable pen.
Yeah, so. That's like when you used to share documents around the old thing. Well, what the heck version is this one? Who's doing,
change.
Yeah.
I mean, all that
do stuff in real time.
I remember at Von Maur here, I don't remember it, but I remember being told at Von Maur they used to have a string system for payment, so that you'd have to put the person's payment on a string and it would be sent up to an office. Then string back. And can you imagine now? I mean, it's just so fast.
Moving so fast and so quickly.
Right.
But I mean, talking about AI powered leadership is what do you do when you're in a leadership position and the influence of AI is impacting, hopefully positively, your organization?
That's why you have to manage it in different ways. I think still the most important technology or piece that we have is people. I mean, that's the organizational behavior side of me that comes out on that. But I think that you talk about what can do. So what things can't AI do?
Right.
Or perhaps shouldn't it do? There's some things I don't think it builds trust. I think that's a human sort of thing. It's not going to feel responsibility for actions, results, those type of things.
Regret.
It's not, integrity. Doesn't model integrity. Right. Well, AI told me, so it must be right.
Well, that's kind of like when Wikipedia came out, right? I mean, it was not fact checked and people were just believing whatever.
It still isn't. You can still go through and put in there whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, it doesn't, doesn't steward culture, doesn't build relationships, that kind of stuff that's still critical in organizations.
It's also, if I walk into the office on a Tuesday morning and I say good morning to Karen and Karen says, "Oh, good morning, Andy," and I can just hear a little change in her voice that she's not as chipper as she usually is.
Right.
That allows me the opportunity to engage her and find out there's something going on that I can help with. AI can't pick up on that.
No. And it would be sad if that's how it
gosh, yes.
One thing that I think that we learned through COVID and all the things that arose from AI and all the conveniences is that why is it that we're a society that doesn't want to deal with people? Why do we want to stay home and be on a computer? Because it's hard.
It is.
I mean, it's hard.
It's hard.
The human organization. The best part of organizations, everybody's different. The most challenging part is everybody's different. I can just sit at home and I don't have to deal with people.
And when you ask C-suite leaders,
it's hard.
CEOs, CFOs, managers of a large organization, what is the most challenging part of their job? 9 times out of 10, it's going to be dealing with people. And it's not a bad thing. It's just individual personalities. Some people have very thin skin, do not do well with criticism of any kind. Some people wear a suit of armor and you could throw anything at them and they just bounce right back.
Right.
That's never going to change.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, we all have good days, bad days, up days. Like you said, with Karen, you could tell something was a lot because she normally behaves this way and I'm noticing a difference. Are you okay? Something's going on. It's like if you have a kid and normally kids happy, but they're not so happy. Well, something's wearing on them that's making them not. And sometimes it's that sort of just that reach out, that outreach. It'll be like, well, okay, well, somebody cares. People know they matter, all that kind of stuff. It's that little thing that can be that. So I hope I just don't want us to get away from those sort of human connections.
Well, you already see AI creeping into that territory and it's been causing nothing but problems. I know there's a lot of, I just was listening to Spotify the other day and on came a 30-second ad for a kind of mental health / counseling program that is AI generated. You're not speaking to a real person. It is taking your responses and putting in the format of a prompt and then responding accordingly. And to me, it's like, that's craziness.
That's the coldest thing I can think of.
Well, you have these AI bots that are out there, and especially teenagers that are easily influenced, are leveraging AI to try to provide them with some kind of feeling of happiness, hope, belonging. And they're getting these negative responses from AI, forcing them to take actions. Some of them end their own lives. And that's what's really scary. So we just, like Charlie said, managing it, but never, ever losing that human component, because that's what drives us.
I think the reliance on it is going to be the problem, right? It's going to be a crutch for people. And that's what you have to avoid.
We have to create systems where people matter more, not less.
Yeah.
That's what we have to do.
Well, Charlie, we got coming up on this coming Wednesday, the 17th. We at 2:00 will be hosting Leadership Unlocked. Again, AI-powered leadership for this final session in 2025. If you would like to attend, you can go to growclinton.com, click on the drop-down calendar, look at that date, Wednesday the 17th. Select the event and register. No cost to do so. If you can't physically be here in our building, but you still want to participate, we will send you a Microsoft Teams link, allowing you access to view the presentation and also engage your peers in real time. So very cool. Charlie, we did get a question online. Rochelle says, how do we understand the customer market as we move further away from the people side of our internal business process? And I love this question, Rochelle, because I am a student of sales. I'm a student of marketing. I love not learning about how to manipulate somebody, but really what makes us as humans tick. Ultimately, what makes us become a member of a nonprofit like ours, or buy a widget. How is that going to change moving forward as we look at more decisions being made by technology than the human heart?
I think, so I work with these wonderful people that are.
I hope so, Charlie.
Yeah, I work with these wonderful people. So that's a great question. How do we understand the corporate? So I think we hopefully don't continue to move so far away that we lose that human piece. I love focus groups. I'm an enormous fan of focus groups. We sit with people, tell me what's going on. And I think we can do them virtually. We don't have to, I love doing them this way, but so I hope we can still, how do we utilize technology, but still get that face-to-face feedback where we can ask questions of people and tell me more about what you mean by that. So I think that's the challenge of that we don't get so isolated in this technology that we lose the human side of things. Because
No.
how does it make you feel? How is it? That's the benefit of focus groups. Again, I've done them with students and customers and all that kind of stuff. Tell me why that is. So what can we do better? And the question I always ask people, if you were king or queen for the day, the week, the month, what can we do to better serve you? What are we missing? What needs aren't we serving? That has to be, if you're going to get that, I think you have to have that eyeball to eyeball somehow or another. And you can do surveys and all that kind of stuff, but I just hope we don't lose that human connection. So we get so isolated.
I love what she's saying, because we've all been, you get on the phone and, if you need customer service, I know exactly what she's talking about, because you press buttons, you get recordings, you press another button, you get another recording.
I just keep pushing 0.
I
want to talk to somebody.
I want to talk to somebody and I want to talk to him now.
Right. I mean,
I'm just going to keep pushing 0.
Customer service.
So what it kind of shows is that
that's funny stuff.
The leadership. I mean, they're opting more for convenience than they are for customer service. I guess.
So
I get what she's saying. That's frustrating.
No. I think the companies that are going to excel moving forward are the ones that continue to invest in people.
Yes.
And I'm not saying you don't adopt technology to make the process improvements necessary to remain competitive, but if you are still a company where I can speak to a human being, when I call customer service, I mean, that's a perfect example is Miles Communications.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
We always talk about that. Miles is a homegrown telecommunication company, cooperative. And that's what they really base their sales pitch on, is their unique selling proposition is that when you need somebody, they are there.
Right.
They are local. Yeah. They are in Miles, Iowa.
You might get a hold of the big guy too. Yeah. I mean, he'll show up.
I think that's important. And even like your Goliath online retailers like Amazon are trying to influence your shopping decisions and your purchase decisions using technology. However, if you ask 100 people, I guarantee you 99% of them are going to say that they look at the reviews before making the purchase decision. Yeah. Who's leaving those reviews? I mean, you hope that they're genuine
they're real people. Yeah.
But ultimately, you're looking to see what the human experience was like using that product.
This does make my life better.
Right.
So I think if we kind of tie some of this together, I think it's about this. So AI is going to keep evolving and growing. It's just going to. I mean, that's a given, I think. I think capabilities will keep multiplying. Pressures aren't going to get any less. I think the more information we have, the more pressure we have. It helps us with decisions, but we have to be able to decipher all that information out, what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. But I don't think any of this really determines our future. I think effective leadership and connection with people is really what determines our future more than anything.
It's going to drive us to it.
Yeah, it doesn't define values. It doesn't define mission. It doesn't define our humanity. We as human beings do that. And how we effectively and ethically use AI will be that. I think you have to be still steady in uncertain times, grounded in purpose, courageous in experimenting stuff. I mean, that's how you got to push the envelope, challenge the status quo, and we still have to going to do that. But I think can do this. It can make us faster, make us smarter. But I think overall what makes us better is the leadership and the people in organizations. That's ultimately what makes it better. It's a tool. It's not necessarily, it's not our value, it's not our mission. It's a tool to help us become more efficient, more effective, make better decisions. But it hopefully doesn't define our culture or who we are. It helps us make better decisions, which is good, because if it can help us make better, maybe more efficient of decisions, we can focus our time on perhaps some other things.
Kind of like a really nice, your own personal assistant.
Yeah. I see it as like mining for gold, right? So you dip that pan in the ground, you pull up all these different rocks, fragments of sand, different materials, minerals, and then you put it through a sieve and you start shaking the sieve. And to me, like all the small granulars of sand, like they serve a purpose, right?
Right.
They provide a bedrock, a foundation for a stream or river, whatever. But at the end of the day, what you're left with in that sieve is the large chunks of rocks and hopefully gold.
Right.
And to me, that's like the technology allowing the cream to rise to the top.
Right.
The more technology we have, the more AI influences leadership in our companies, the more it's going to highlight those true leaders that are out there doing a good job because they never abandon the human need to feel connected to their subordinates and their team.
Yeah, it's like all our students, we have online students now, but I mean, all that's helped us go to where students are.
Right.
Because how many people could really go to school anymore if you had to go?
Right.
When I went back in the day, you had to go somewhere. I went to Ambrose with my MBA. You had to go there. It really was an option. So how do you go meet students where they are, help them, get their goals and objectives? But that, canvas that we use, the platform that we use, does not define who we are. It's not our mission. It's not our values. It's how we utilize that tool to support our values and missions. It's not who we are. It's a tool to help us support who we are. And that's
so
just
the leaders who probably will be ahead of the game are the ones who can come up with a rules of conduct.
Oh yeah. I think
Policies.
you have to have guidelines for you. You can't just let people do whatever the heck they want. That's why when the management functions is control, you have to have controls in place to make sure that
we have an AI policy here at Grow.
Yeah, I mean, you have to have
one page, very simple.
You have to, because if you don't, then people use it and they say, well, there wasn't any rule.
People do what they want.
You
want creativity, but people can't just do whatever the heck they want or say whatever the heck they want. That's not helpful. But it just helps us deliver our mission and support our mission, but it's not our mission. It's just a tool to help us be more efficient and effective. So there's challenges, and we have to figure out it'll grow and evolve. 5 years ago, who knew AI? What the heck was that?
Just look at the country as a whole. Go back to the Revolutionary War. Fast forward to 2025 and how wars are fought today. You can't tell me there's no leaders anymore because somebody's not sitting on horseback in front of a line of people shooting muskets. They're now controlling the outcome of a war from a command center using computers and drones. But there are still people that are out there in the trenches. And those, again, are really exposing what true leadership is willing to sacrifice yourself for the greater good of the country. And in some cases, obviously, the company. And those leaders will continue to stand out. So, and I'm a firm believer that the more the flow of technology just washes over us, at the end, when it all recedes and goes back to where it came from, you'll see those true leaders standing tall.
That will never change.
And so so I appreciate the ability to do this. It's been fun. I remember when you finalized to do this was at the golf outing about a year and a half ago. We figured, okay, we'll do it. Then we sat down with Matt when Ashley was here. We kind of figured out what's it look like, and I'm especially appreciative to all the folks that have helped do this. I mean, anybody I asked, nobody ever said no.
Well, you always
or nobody asked about what. Just just this is what it is. This is why we're doing it. So we're really fortunate to have.
We appreciate it.
Charlie's a great example of servant leadership. I mean, he wanted to take what he had learned over decades in higher education and building this web of influencers, online and off, and how he could apply that to strengthening our community. And we're very, very thankful. And Charlie, do not think just because these 12 months have come and gone that you're getting out of here.
Come on, Charlie.
There's
we know where you live.
We'll find
you. Want to come help blow snow? I can always.
Would that help? Would that mean you'd come back and do this again?
But it's about I'm a firm believer. We all get where we are because people believe in us and give us chances and opportunities. So, and at this point, I think it's about. Since I'm a great example of that, people have really helped me. How do I help other people? And I think part of the responsibility at this point in the game is how do you help grow and develop the next generation of leaders? Because it's those folks that are, like the Aries of the world and those kind of people who are involved and engaged, who are a little younger. Let's lift them up and give them opportunities to be successful. So it's
almost tangible when you put yourself in a room with an Ari Leverins and a Gabby Torres and a Carrie Donaire and
all those people,
Matt Parbs. And it's like all of us, Jenny, and just like the entire staff, we thrive on the success of each other.
That's it.
And that's what makes this organization successful. We never sit back and say, oh, look at Jenny getting accolades. Oh, poor me. Why don't I get? If that's the mindset, just get off of our team.
We don't need that. Nope.
So it's been fun. So I appreciate the opportunity to doing this. I can't believe it's already a year.
That's
Holy
crazy.
mackerel.
I know.
This went fast.
Like my
It's been a
grandfather
lot of
always
fun.
said, time flies when you're paying bills.
There it is. Paying bills, having fun.
He used to
Getting
always say
old.
that to me. I'd be like, "Oh, school's taking forever." He said, "Wait till you start paying bills.
That's
Yeah.
The months just fly by."
They
Like,
do.
"Can I just pay this?" Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, crazy stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, we were talking to a gentleman as we're closing out the show the other day. His name's Ted Huff, and he's an expert in financial technology. And he's working with a company that's developing the software where if you're going through a line at your big box store and you're just checking out like bread, whatever, cheese, and then all of a sudden you have a high ticket item in the cart, it will prompt you to a financial opportunity where you can secure credit to buy that thing. Just imagine what's going to happen when it's instantaneous. All you have to do is select yes, and you just register yourself for a program where you are signed up with a credit loan from a retailer, and now you're paying 20% interest, but it's going to be there and it's going to be instantaneous. I mean, that's what, there was an old school marketer that used to say, like, how do you sell the world's best burger? And then people would say, oh, you have to have, USDA ground beef right from the farm. It's got to be fresh. It's got to be ready. Oh, no, you got to have toppings. No, you have to have the different condiments. And he said, no, you just have to have a hungry crowd.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you sell a burger.
Sense.
People have to be hungry to buy your burger.
Right.
If they're full, they're not going to buy your burger. And it makes it so simple. It's just easily missed.
Right.
And that's what's going to come as we continue to advance in these technologies, leadership. If we just keep it simple,
Right.
stick to what we know works, integrity first, service before self, excellence in all we do. That's the core values of the United States Air Force, by the way.
And people matter. Yeah.
People matter.
People
All right, Charlie.
All right.
Well, again, this coming Wednesday, Leadership Unlocked. This session is going to be AI-powered leadership. Register at growclinton.com. Just click on the calendar, hit the drop down, go ahead and select the link. Registration is no cost, free, F-R-E-E. You can also receive an MS Teams link to participate virtually. And you'll also be able to kind of engage your peers around the table because we include everybody, both physically there as well as online.
Yep.
It's great. And you can't beat free education.
Not at all.
My favorite flavor is free.
That's right.
Free.
Free. Awesome. All right, everybody. Jenny, you got a busy rest of your week. What's today? Tuesday?
Today is Tuesday, and in the morning I thought it was Wednesday all morning, and then I was
very confused. About
very
what today
confused.
Was. I do not know why, but lately, I'll say within the last like 2 or 3 months, that I've been, kind of working next door on the tourism side of things, and everybody's been helping and stuff, but I get hyper focused on a project, and it's very difficult for me to let it go until it's complete and to my standards.
That's not bad.
It's not bad, but it's also debilitating sometimes because you get
and you
blinders.
work day and night too. So.
Well, you throw blinders on. So when I think about Saturday morning, I should just be sitting there wrestling with my kids or having fun. I'm jumping in the shower, changing and coming in here to, fill nail holes or do some drywall work or whatever. And it's difficult. And my wife actually said to me the other day, she's like, when is this project going to be over? And I know she wasn't being supportive.
No.
She just wanted to know, when are you going to not be in the office Saturday, Sunday?
Right.
Because that's 7 straight days of sitting my butt in Grow Clinton and getting stuff done. And why I feel accomplished, the perception for my family and the feelings that they have are not the same.
Yeah. I went by on a weekend and your truck was here and I was like, holy smokes.
Feedback's what we need to hear, not always what we want to hear, huh?
Right.
Yeah, so as a result, all the days are kind of blending in because Sunday felt like my Monday and now here we are in Tuesday. But a lot of good things going on. We got a company visit coming up, second round 2 from a potential new employer in the community.
Nice.
So we're going to put our best foot forward for that. And hopefully we can woo then choose Clinton, Iowa.
Oh, come on. Why wouldn't you? It's great here.
I know. It's a no-brainer. That's
It's
what I
a
tell them.
no-brainer.
But you know what? I got to sell. Hopefully it's a hungry crowd.
There you go.
All right, everybody. Thank you again for listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Thank you for our sponsor, Citizens First Bank, banking as it should be. Member FDIC, at Craft Printwear and Sully Sports. Sully's coming to you soon. At Craft Printwear for all your printwear needs. Miles Communications. They're here. They're human. They're ready to hook you up with high-speed internet. milestelephone.com. And, of course, LyondellBasell, always advancing in new technologies. But LyondellBasell, they manufacture high-density, low-density polyethylene plastic pellets. But they're the world's leader in sustainable living and also recycling.
And there's ones that you can say probably definitely use AI, but they have not forgotten the human touch.
Absolutely. All right, everybody. Until we talk again, stay classy, folks. See ya. Thank you for listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on all your socials. Until next time, See ya.